What up, everybody? What up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of AC Reviews the World. I am your host, AC the Engineer, and we are at episode 216. Yep. Hopefully, everybody had a good weekend. It is Monday, June 29th, 2026, year of our Lord, and it's time to get into it, y'all. Welcome back to the greatest afternoon show in the world. You ain't got to believe it, but I believe it. That's all that matters, y'all. That's all that matters. But welcome back to a show where we go over 4 topics every single day, Monday through Friday, of just things that I found that we need to review together. Now, I'm never going to say I'm always right. I'm never going to say I understand everything. But I feel like we need to talk about this type of stuff. And we need to have a discussion. So if you ever disagree with anything I say, please leave a comment. Like I said, let's talk about it. But you know how I like to do it. The best way to show your support, y'all, before we get into it, is to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. But let's get over into it. You know how I like to do. Let's jump right into it. The first topic we got to get over into today is we got a tragic scene where a 10-year-old has been charged with the murder and a deadly shooting of a 7-month-old. And I believe his father has been charged, or the baby's father has been charged as well. So let's get over into that and see what this is about. Of course, we'll go over into a few videos and then the AI breakdown. But let's jump into it, y'all, and see what we find out.
Tonight we have new developments in the shooting that left a baby in North St. Louis dead. Hours ago, prosecutors charged a 10-year-old who they say pulled the trigger with murder. Police say a 19-year-old is also facing gun charges. The announcements came hours after police identified the 7-month-old baby. 5 News Side's Reagan DeTrolio tells us outraged community advocates hope their calls for change don't fall on deaf ears.
This is a very sad and unfortunate incident. This is a 7-month-old baby that just never got to even begin to live life.
7-month-old girl Kiyomi Parker died after being shot at a home here on North Broadway Friday afternoon around 4 p.m. 2 people, a 10-year-old boy and a 19-year-old man, were taken into custody.
This is 2 lives that will be, change forever.
Precious Jones' son died from gun violence a few years back. Now she's fighting to save others from the same fate.
These types of incidents can be prevented.
There's free gun locks provided at every St. Louis public library, including this one in the Baden neighborhood, just a couple blocks off from where shots were fired.
The library is not the first place you would think of to get a gun lock, but they are available for free if you need them.
Librarian Amy Brown tells me gun locks are now more accessible than ever.
Just walk up to any circulation desk and ask for a gun lock.
But there's other ways to get a gun lock too.
You can go to any Phillips 66 Crown Market and ask for a gun lock.
St. Louis Metropolitan Police told 5 on Your Side the 19-year-old is facing criminal gun charges. What happened leading up to the shooting is still being determined.
We are still... Is gun violence that bad to where, at least maybe that's a normal thing, that where you can get a gun lock at all these different places, the library. But is gun violence that bad to where we have to be providing this stuff for people? Why? I mean, first of all, why did the 10-year-old have a gun in the first place? Was he playing with it? Was he intentionally trying to harm someone? Was he just looking at it and it went off? Those are a lot of factors that we have to think about. But if they're charging him with murder, it's most likely he was either playing with it, pulling the trigger, which says a lot about who was actually watching the 10-year-old in the first place. But at 10 years old, we gotta say how it is. You know better to what you need to touch and where you don't. At least your parents should have told you or instilled the right rules into you to where you don't pick up a gun or play with a gun in the first place. But let's keep going into this.
Very early in this, that the scene of this shooting is contained to inside the home.
No one should be able to purchase a firearm without, purchasing the safety equipment that comes with it. That should just be a mandatory law.
Reporting in the Baden neighborhood, I'm Reagan DeTrolio, 5 on Your.
Now let's get over into more details about this case. Let's get over into the video.
There are certain types of calls that no officer ever wants to get. And the District 6 officers got that call tonight.
A young life becomes another statistic tonight to gun violence. We sent the alert to you a few minutes ago. The baby shot in a St. Louis home has now died, and the investigation deepens. Just before 4:30 this afternoon, First Alert 4 learned of the infant being shot at a home on North Broadway near Halls Ferry Road in North City. That's close to Calvary Cemetery, and it's where we find our Casey Zanowick, who's live for us tonight. Casey, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Morgan, it's truly a heartbreaking scene here tonight. We're standing on North Broadway here in the Baden neighborhood, where we just learned a couple hours ago an infant was shot, and we just learned that it was a 7-month-old girl who has now died in the hospital. Now, the scene is still very active right now. Officers are still here trying to determine what exactly happened, but what we do know is that officers were called here around 4 o'clock after receiving reports of a shooting. When they arrived, they say they found a 7-month-old baby girl with a gunshot wound in that home. Officers then quickly did what they call a scoop and go and placed that baby in the back of an SUV to get her to the hospital. And with the help of other District 6 officers, they closed numerous roads to get that infant there as fast as possible. But sadly, we have just learned that she has died in the hospital. Now, police say homicide and child abuse detectives are now on scene. They have contained the scene of the shooting to inside the home and are not currently searching for a suspect. Police say they also have no reason to believe the child accidentally shot herself, but police told us they are currently conducting interviews with family members who were in the home when this incident occurred and trying to determine how exactly this unfolded. Now, this is the 26th juvenile shot in the city this year, and it comes just a few days after a 15-year-old was shot and killed near Forest Park. Now, as you can see, this is still a very active and early investigation, and police are still trying to determine what exactly happened and how that infant died. But we'll keep you updated as soon as we learn more on air and online.
Now, they are charging both of these. They are charging the 10-year-old with murder. They are charging with the 19-year-old with murder. The 19-year-old was the father of the 7-month-old. But in honest, when are we going to do better as parents? Because obviously someone let that child, that 10-year-old, get a gun in his hand. Someone wasn't watching the child close enough. And then someone left this. It's a tragic scene, y'all. Let's get over into this AI breakdown just to find out more information about this whole case. Absolutely tragic. Makes you lose words. So as we know, y'all, we got a 19-year-old father, and then we got a 10-year-old boy have both been charged with the tragic shooting death of a 7-month-old. So the shooting took place in North St. Louis. Responding St. Louis officers performed a scoop and go, rushing the infant to the hospital. The 7-month-old baby girl was pronounced dead at the hospital. A 7-year-old child was also present in the home during the shooting but was uninjured. Court documents show that the father kept a loaded firearm underneath a mattress in a bedroom. The 10-year-old boy told investigators that he knew where the gun was hidden and that it had been accessible to him for a long time and that he had handled it previously. So the 10-year-old boy has been charged with first-degree murder in juvenile court. Local research indicates that he will maybe the youngest person in Missouri's history to face a murder charge. Due to the state laws regarding minors, he cannot be tried as an adult. So the father charged with second-degree felony murder, first-degree endangerment and welfare of a child, and 2 counts of first-degree endangerment and welfare of a child for exposing the other 2 children to a substantial risk. He is currently being held without bond. So I did want to figure out any more details we have about it. So the court documents revealed that the 10-year-old boy shot the 7-month-old infant once in the head. Reports indicate that the 19-year-old father is the uncle of the 10-year-old boy who pulled the trigger. While the shooting occurred at the home, court records indicate that his primary residence is in East Street, Louisiana. The baby's mother has been identified as Jalen Parker, who has since organized a fundraiser to help cover the child's funeral costs. So Missouri updated its law regarding juvenile prosecution, while the state previously had no minimum age to charge a child with a serious felony. A law passed set the minimum age for a minor to be certified and tried as an adult at 12 years old. Because the suspect is 10, he will have to remain in the juvenile system. So as we know, there's a spike in juvenile gun violence. Police spokesman highlighted that this marks the fourth juvenile shooting victim and the second fatal juvenile homicide by gunfire within a single week alone. At the time of the incident, St. Louis had already recorded 24 juvenile shootings, perfectly matching the city's gun violence tracking data from the exact same period in the previous year. So it has not changed. That's the biggest information right there. The gun violence has not dropped any from the last year. So court timeline, he is having his upcoming hearing and the statements of the community rallies organized by the St. Louis gun violence advocates. Absolutely wild. So we let's look at this again. So the 10-year-old said that, where is it? So the 10-year-old, he told investigators that he knew where the gun was hidden and that it has been accessible to him for a long time and that he's handled it previously. So, I mean, it seems pretty obvious what happened. It seems like for some reason he let the child, or the child found out, the 10-year-old found out where the gun was. I don't know if the father or his uncle showed him where it was or if he just seen him putting it up, but he obviously didn't have any kind of safety on the gun. But the child ended up getting it like he has before, playing with it. And the most tragic thing happened is to where he ended up shooting his 7-month-old cousin in the head. Now, here's a question. Do you think the child should be charged with murder? I don't know if murder is the right thing. It doesn't, because murder, when I think of murder, I think of intentional. Or you can do sudden passion murder, but I think that an intentional thing, you intentionally tried to do something and it led to murder. I don't know if the 10-year-old intentionally tried to kill or shoot the gun, but he obviously handled the gun, pulled the trigger, maybe by accident. This is just me maybe giving him the benefit of the doubt. And the child was shot in the head. Now, shot in the head is crazy, but do you think murder is the right charge for this 10-year-old child? Do you think that he's not going to be in jail because he has to be charged as a juvenile, so he's going to be out by 21, 19 or 21, one of those ages. But do you think murder is the appropriate charge? Should it be like manslaughter? Of course, the father needs to be charged with murder. We don't even have to talk about that. But should the 10-year-old be charged with murder? He definitely needs to be charged because you do the crime, you need to do some kind of time. But is murder the appropriate charge? Let me know your thoughts on that situation, y'all. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's an absolutely crazy case, but we will keep up with it to see exactly what goes through. We're going to pivot now into our next topic we're going to be discussing today. And we got to go to more tragic information where we have, well, it's not really tragic. We just got to go to more, we had a murder take place and a heated argument. Well, let me give it some background. So we had a murder in Greenville County, South Carolina, where a suspect has been brought to court. And because he was denied bond, it almost had a fight happen right outside of court. So we're going to get over into a little bit of background of the case. And then, of course, we'll look into that heated moment that happened outside of the court between the families. Absolutely crazy situation, y'all. Let's get over into it and see what we can find out. Let's get over into it.
All right, thanks, Chrissy. We do have some breaking news. An arrest has been made after a man was shot and killed early this morning in Greenville County. We're also learning the name of that victim this hour. The sheriff's office says that James Emmanuel Waiters, he's the third. He's charged with murder, and he was taken to the Greenville County Detention Center and expected to go through bond court this afternoon. The sheriff's office says that a 911 call came in just before 2:30 for gunshots at a mobile home along Saluda Dam Road. We've got a map out for you right here on your screen and just where that is in proximity to Greenville County proper, but it's not far from White Horse Road. Now, the coroner is now identifying that homicide victim as 23-year-old Joselito Riviera. This is a look at that scene from early this morning when deputies got to that area. They found Riviera shot and killed. Investigators say that Waiters shot and killed him after an argument broke out there and while they were actually riding in a car together. Again, Waiters is expected to go through bond court this afternoon, so be sure to stick with Fox Carolina both on air and online as this story continues to develop.
First thing I can say before we get over into the heated argument that happened is that we are, it feels like it's an epidemic of people who can't handle their emotions. You get into an argument with somebody in a car and you kill them, you deserve to be in jail and not get out. It's as simple as that. But let's get over into this heated argument and see what exactly they were arguing about.
Only on Fox Carolina News, emotions erupting in Greenville court today as a murder suspect was denied bond. 20-year-old James Waiters III is accused of shooting and killing another man early this morning during a fight inside a vehicle. Only Fox Carolina was at that hearing. Our Ashley Listrom explains what happened as tensions turned physical.
Thursday's bond hearing was intense and chaotic, and as you're about to see, those emotions didn't stop inside the courtroom. Instead, they boiled over into this parking lot. We watched as the fight moved from the courtroom to the lobby to the parking lot. Loved ones erupted, pushing, shoving, yelling, and crying. Police and deputies later moved in to break it up. This all comes after James Waiters III is accused of shooting and killing 23-year-old Joselito Riviera during a fight in a car. The Greenville County Sheriff's Office says it happened around 2:30 Thursday morning along Saluda Dam Road. When deputies arrived, they found Riviera shot to death. But before the court chaos, Riviera's sister addressed the judge.
I just want to say that I feel like it was wrong for him to take my brother's life. My brother may have problems or whatever, but that's my brother's life.
She revealed Riviera was a father to 2 children, and she made an emotional plea, begging the judge to keep his accused killer behind bars.
I lost my brother. My mama lost her son. Like, she lost her uncle. Like, I don't feel like he should get a bond. I feel like he should stay in here because I feel like he knew what he was doing.
I mean, that's a reasonable request from a family member. There's nothing wrong with her requesting that the killer of her brother stays behind bars. Now, I do have a question. I wonder if because the only way I can think to where he can get away with this is through self-defense. Did he have a gun or any kind of weapon where he feel like he needed to protect his life? Or was it just an argument? He pulled out a gun and he shot her. But we'll have to wait for more evidence to come out. Let's keep going into this.
Waiters III is being held without bond, and we're working to learn when he'll go before a judge again. As for those caught in the court chaos, they calmed down and later left. Reporting in Greenville, Ashley Listrom, Fox Carolina.
It's a crazy situation, but I will never understand why people will get so heated and so upset when their person that they're supporting or whose side they're on is in the wrong. What is the point of getting so heated and almost fighting the other family outside of the courtroom? But let's go back into the AI just to see what else we can find out about this whole case and if we can make sense of anything. So as we know, James was denied bond, which triggered a massive violent brawl between the suspect and the victim's family inside and outside of Greenville County courtroom. The 20-year-old is charged with murder and possession of a weapon during a violent crime. So as we know, the incident took place on June 25th at around 2:20 a.m. James allegedly shot and killed 23-year-old Riviera. Investigators determined that Waiters and Riviera were riding together in a car near Saluda Dam Road when a heated argument broke out. Waiter, the passenger in the vehicle, pulled out a gun and shot him, whose body was later found outside of a local business. Deputies on patrol heard a gunfire and conducted a traffic stop on the vehicle as it fled the area. Discovering the evidence that linked the occupant to the homicide, the driver of the car has not been charged. So somebody else was in the vehicle? So during the bond hearing at the Greenville County Detention Center, his sister, the victim's sister, made an emotional statement to the judge. She begged the court to deny bail, stating that Riviera was a father of two whose life was wrongfully taken. Immediately after the judge announced that he would be denied bond, tensions boiled over. A massive confrontation erupted between the victim's family and the suspect's family. According to Fox Carolina, the explosive argument and physical fighting quickly spilled from the courtroom into the detention center lobby and eventually out into the parking lot. Numerous detention officers and sheriff deputies had to intervene to physically separate the screaming, pushing, and fighting family members to restore order. Wow. So all because a killer is denied bond. Did they say something to you? Why fight with the family? That's what I'm not understanding. If we're in the wrong, I would be okay. It's a difference between if I was a fan, if for some reason my family member was in court and he did something egregious, yes, I would still be there, but I'm not going to argue with the victim's family. He did something egregious, and it does make sense that he is going to be behind bars until the court comes, until we have the trial. So what was the point in arguing and trying to fight the victim's family? What does this prove, or what does this help? He's still going to be behind bars. And what I'm trying to figure out, why are you so angry? Of course you want him to be out and walking around, but he still is going through a trial for murdering someone. Now we'll have to wait for the investigation to come out, but he's going to plead for most likely self-defense. We know how this type of stuff happens. He's going to plead for self-defense. Will he get it? Likely not. But we'll have to wait to see. You are innocent until proven guilty. But let me know your thoughts on that whole situation, y'all. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. The world's truly a crazy place. Or some people have said it's not the world that's crazy. It's just the people who are crazy. But if the people crazy is not the world crazy. But let me know your thoughts on that situation, y'all. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. We're going to pivot now into our next topic, and we got to go over to Brooklyn, where we had 22 gang members being arrested in a gang bust. And they say it's one of the largest gang takedowns that have ever happened in Brooklyn. Let me say. But let's get over into this. We got a few videos to look at, and then, of course, that AI breakdown just to wrap it all up. Remember, y'all, I'm going to say this all the time. The best way to show your support if you like this kind of type of content is just to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. Let's get over into it, y'all. We got 2 videos to look at, and then, of course, we'll go to that AI breakdown.
It is considered the largest gang takedown in Brooklyn history. And now 22 suspects are charged with dozens of shootings involving innocent bystanders and are now off the streets. Allie Bauman has this story.
Shootings midday on busy sidewalks and in grocery stores, all allegedly involving Brooklyn's decade-old street gang, Folk Nation.
The largest takedown ever from this office.
Governor Hochul, along with the Brooklyn District Attorney and NYPD, announcing 22 alleged members indicted on murder, attempted murder, and weapons charges, with 56 guns recovered.
These are some of the most dangerous criminals in New York City.
Among the 26 shootings these suspects are accused of, one was at a birthday party in East New York last December. 6 teenagers shot, including 3 girls. The victims, 15 to 17 years old.
Much of the fighting is generational. Young folks don't really know why they're fighting with some of the other gangs they're fighting with.
We first covered this shootout in May of 2024 between Folk Nation and another gang. It starts in a smoke shop and spills out to an East Flatbush sidewalk. The fighting knocking 2 women to the ground. Detectives access this group chat between the alleged gang members from the next day, in which they're sharing our coverage of the shooting and mocking the bystanders' injuries. Folk Nation is one of over 500 gangs and crews currently operating throughout New York City, according to the NYPD.
When we get them off the streets, we'll prevent these continuous cycles of retaliation.
The district attorney.
Now, first thing, is it a raising problem? Is it a community problem? What is causing these young children or young teens and young adults, because a lot of these are young adults, to do these such brazen, horrible acts and then laugh about it in the group chat? The world is truly crazy, y'all. But you heard what he said. They want to get all these people off the street, but we need to keep them off the street. That means we cannot be soft on the punishments. We cannot, to where they think that, oh, it's just going to be a slap on the wrist and I'll be back out to do the same thing I was doing before. No, we need to make them to where they don't want to go back to jail. It seems to me that so many young people and some of these YNs, however you want to say it, are not scared to go to jail anymore, and they don't fear the consequences of their actions. We have to change that.
He says the defendants were arraigned this week on the 176 count indictment and are all being held either without bail or on high bail. From downtown Brooklyn.
All of them should be without bail. Let's get over into this next one and see what else it tells us.
Well, it is being called one of the largest gang busts in the history of Brooklyn. 22 people charged in a string of shootings, including a murder. In one of those shootings, 6 teenagers were injured at a Sweet 16 party. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles.
They're singing and rapping and celebrating the shooting. 4 guys in the car, all armed, all celebrating that they think they've just killed a 16-year-old boy in the grocery store.
This is surveillance video of that January 2025 shooting of a 16-year-old boy in an East New York grocery store. The one prosecutors say was being celebrated in a selfie video recorded by the alleged shooter in the getaway car. Thursday morning, Brooklyn District Attorney Eric Gonzalez announcing their arrest in a gang takedown of 22 men in 26 separate shootings. 56 guns were seized.
They don't fear jail. They're over here making TikTok dances. They want, social media has blinded them about what true jail is like. Or maybe jail is not as bad as it needs to be, to where people don't care if they go to it. I spent a day in a holding cell, or what is it? And that was enough for me. I can't imagine being in prison for years. But some of these teens are just going forward, doing whatever they want to do, causing all this violence and chaos, not caring what happens. Either they think they'll get away with it, or they think that, oh, well, jail is just jail. It ain't nothing. I'll be back on the streets afterwards and I can do what I do. Throw the cuffs on them.
These men 17 of the 22 have actually pulled the trigger. Some of those 17 have pulled the trigger on multiple occasions.
One of those occasions, the horrific mass shooting at a Sweet 16 party in December that injured 6 teens. Surveillance video being released for the first time today, showing the shooters using laser pointers to fire off more than 20 rounds into the crowd.
So they was popping balloons inside the place. So when they heard the sounds, they thought it was the balloons.
Governor Hochul on hand for the milestone announcement.
This is your third major takedown just in a few months. So unbelievable work that's being done here.
The DA's office zeroing in on a small group responsible for 60% of gun violence in the borough.
Somebody got to do this, gang. Me and G-Baby locked up. Somebody got to do this, gang.
See, this is the part that may not be understandable.
Yo, that is a crazy statistic. They said that they locked up people who were responsible for more than half, 60% of the gun violence in that city. Good. They needed to be off the streets.
To ordinary New Yorkers, they want to take credit for these shootings. They want the gang to be represented for having taken action against a rival.
More than 70 alleged gang members have been arrested in these 3 takedowns. Gonzalez says going into the hot summer months, this is going to make a big difference for New Yorkers. In downtown Brooklyn, Darla Miles, Channel.
Yeah, we got to do something. Yeah, young people are scared or not scared of going to jail anymore. And they're not scared of the consequences. Let's get over into this AI breakdown just to see what else we can find out about this whole situation, y'all. Absolutely tragic. So as we know, on June 25th, New York officials announced a major gang takedown, resulting in 176 count indictment against 22 alleged gang members tied to 26 different shootings across Brooklyn and Manhattan. The suspects ranges in age from 17 to 26 and are identified as members of the Renegade Goons, or OOs, which is a subset of the Folk Nation street gang. They are accused of carrying out violent 3-year turf war between October 2022 and December 2025. The 22 defendants face charges of second-degree murder, attempted murder, multiple counts of conspiracy, and criminal possession of weapon. Law enforcement officials seized 56 firearms during the operation. Out of the 22 indicted individuals, 17 are identified as the actual trigger pullers who fired shots across 10 Brooklyn precincts and 1 Manhattan location. The 26 connected shootings left 23 people victimized, including 1 person killed and multiple innocent bystanders injured. The multi-year investigation focused heavily on 2 high-profile shootings. We had the January 2025 bodega shooting. The suspect shot a 16-year-old boy inside of a East New York grocery store. Brooklyn District Attorney noted that the shooter recorded themselves in a getaway car immediately afterwards, singing and celebrating that they believed that a successful hunt happened. And then we had the mass shooting in December 2025. We went over this. We had 2 shooters open fired outside of the Sweet 16 birthday party in Brooklyn, discharging more than 20 rounds into a crowd. The attack injured 6 teenagers, including 3 young girls. As we know, the sweeping gang bust was publicly detailed by the New York governor. Wow. Parents need to do better raising their children. And if the children, and then another thing, we can't be soft on any type of crime, especially crimes to where it seems like they're just working their way up to do something even bigger and bolder. I don't know how we can fix it, but something needs to be done, y'all. Something. Let me know your thoughts on that situation, y'all. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's absolutely tragic. We're going to pivot now into our next topic, to where we have to go to a crazy case where we have a man who has stabbed his father 22. We got a man who stabbed his father 20 times during a day at the park. So he has been charged with first-degree murder. So let's get over into that and see what this whole thing is about. We got a few videos to look at, and then, of course, that AI breakdown just to see what else we can find out, y'all. Remember, y'all, the best way to show your support is hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. But let's get over into this and see what else we can find out. We might have enough time. So we go through a fifth topic, most likely some body cam footage. But let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it.
24-year-old man has been arrested in connection with a deadly stabbing at a playground in Wellesley. WBZ's Mike Sullivan has more on the investigation.
James Bennett III was brought into the courthouse this morning around 9:30. The Wellesley native is charged with stabbing his father to death. The incident took place here at Phillips Park in Wellesley.
A witness heard the victim screaming for help. He screamed that he's stabbing me. He's killing me. He was able to answer the question when the officer said to him, "Who stabbed you?" And he said, "My son."
After it happened, prosecutors say Bennett ran back to his home, showered, changed, and put the knife and his clothes in a bag. They say he took a photo of himself bloody before heading to police to turn himself in.
He was unaware at that time, we believe, that his father had died.
Investigators say they found DNA under his fingernails that was presumptive for blood. Bennett's attorney told the judge his client has a significant history of mental health issues. After court, his lawyer had this message from the Bennett family.
What does the mental health issue have to do with this man stabbing his father 20 times? Are they trying to get to an insanity plea? Are they trying? There are a lot of people with mental health issues. There's even more, and there's majority of them don't commit these crazy crimes. Let's keep going though.
Going through the same tragedy that any family going through this fact pattern would go through. They're here to show their support and love for their son, cousin, and nephew, James, who's just charged. They're also terribly upset with the fact that the death of James, the father.
Bennett could face life in prison. He's being held without bail, and his next hearing is July 10th.
Okay, held without bail. You know I like to hear that. Let's get over into this next one.
Tonight, a 24-year-old man is being held without bail, accused of stabbing his own father 20 times, killing him in a Wellesley park. James Floyd Bennett III pleading not guilty to that crime in court today. Prosecutors say in his last words, the victim told officers that his son was the attacker. As WBZ's Christina Rex shows us, defense attorneys say that suspect has a history of mental illness.
He's accused of murdering his dad.
This party here is saying it was his son. We haven't gotten his name, and we don't have this party's info. He's losing consciousness.
James Bennett III, a.k.a. Trip, faced a judge Friday, pleading not guilty to first-degree murder.
There were very few people in the park at that time.
It happened around 6 p.m. Thursday at the quiet, public Phillips Park in Wellesley. Witnesses saw 24-year-old Trip and his dad kicking around a soccer ball, talking about the World Cup. Then,
and a witness heard the victim screaming for help. He screamed that he's stabbing me. He's killing me.
3 witnesses called 911. Police say they found 58-year-old James Bennett Jr. severely wounded near the slide on the playground. His last words?
"Who stabbed you?" And he said, "My son."
Now, I don't know how you get from kicking a ball in the park with your father to stabbing him 20 times. Nah, that could be explained by mental issues, but does that change the fact that he needs to be locked up? Does that change the facts, y'all? Let's keep going.
Before he lost consciousness.
Bennett was pronounced dead at the hospital with more than 20 stab wounds. His son Trip allegedly fled the scene, bagged up the murder weapon and his clothes back at home, even took a picture of himself covered in blood, showered, then turned himself into police. His lawyer says he has a history of mental health issues and that his family members who showed up to court support him.
They've lost 2 family members. The family loves the fellow that was just charged in there.
On the quiet trail Friday,
it's very disappointing and
heartbreaking, I think.
Neighbors are stunned by the second murder in Wellesley this year. Jeanette McCausland is accused of killing her 2 children back in April in town. A memorial for those kids is just feet from where this latest alleged homicide happened. Before 2026, there hadn't been a murder here since 1999.
It's not going to feel like unsafe for me. Like it is still safe for me, and I like this neighborhood. I like the people here, but it kind of reminds me that still there is something that we need to look out for ourselves, and we need to be kind to each other.
Tripp Bennett will be held without bail for now. He has another court appearance coming up on July 10th.
So this man killed his father, stabbed him more than 20 times, then went home, showered, put all his stuff and the knife in a bag, took a picture but while he was bloody, and then turned himself into the police. I gotta be honest, that doesn't sound like a cold-hearted killer, or it could be a ploy, or I might be falling for it, and it could be a ploy to make him seem like he has mental issues. Let's get over into this AI breakdown and just get more of the bigger picture of this whole case, y'all, because this is crazy. So as we know, we got James, 24, has been arrested and charged with first-degree murder for the fatal stabbing of his 58-year-old father, James. Oh, he was a third at the public park in Massachusetts. So at his June 26th arraignment, he pleaded not guilty and was ordered to be held without bail. The fatal encounter occurred before 6 p.m. on Thursday, June 25th at the Phillips Park. The father and the son were initially observed kicking around a soccer ball, discussing the World Cup, and mapping out dinner plans. The encounter abruptly turned violent. A part witness heard the father screaming, "He's stabbing me, he's killing me," prompting multiple emergency 911 calls. When first responders arrived, they found the elder bleeding profusely from roughly 20 stab wounds before losing consciousness. The victim explicitly identified his son as the attacker to the police. He pronounced dead shortly after arriving at the hospital. Following the attack, the younger Bennett ran back home. He shared with his mother, took a photo of his bloody self, showered, packed his clothes and the knife into a garbage bag, and then walked directly into the police department and turned himself in. Prosecutors stated that he did not initially realize his father was dead. So the question is, would he have still turned himself in if he knew or if he was planning to kill him? So the defense attorney noted that his client suffers from significant documented history of profound mental health illnesses and institutionalizations. Family, friends, and neighbors shared that Bennett III, known to loved ones as Tripp, graduated from Wesley High School in 2020 and studied cognitive science and philosophy at the university before his mental decline, forcing him to return home. Close friends emphasized that younger Bennett deeply loved his father, calling the tragedy a severe escalation of a young man fighting to contain his demons. The investigation remains ongoing, and he is scheduled to be in court July 10th. Contain his demons. Wow. Now, question. You kill your father by stabbing him 20 times. You think you didn't kill him, so you turn yourself in. It sounds like he's making a good play for an insanity plea, or not guilty by the reason of insanity. The question is, will the psychologist and it depends on if the jury or the judge believe what he's going through or what he went through. I want to know what made him snap that instantly. We'll have to go through all his history to see if he had any plans to do this before, or if it was truly just a snap situation. But the question is, how much time should he get? I've said this several times. Even if someone is given the insanity plea, they need to be housed or supervised, I'm thinking, for the rest of their lives. If your brain has already taken you to a level to where you've taken someone's life, I don't know if I'm ever 100 positive that your brain won't take you to that level again, because the brain is a very mysterious thing. So they need to be monitored, most likely for the rest of their lives. At least that's my thinking. You might think differently. You think, oh, if it was just a one-time thing, it can never happen again. The brain is very weird. That's the best way to describe it. And we don't know much about it. Or we don't know as much as we could. But this is a tragic case, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on the situation. Do you think that he will be able to get away with the insanity plea, which he will most likely take, or his defense attorney will most likely try to get? Let me know your thoughts. It's a crazy situation, y'all. Absolutely. We're going to pivot over into one more topic, y'all. And it looks like we got time for that fifth topic. So let's get over into some body cam footage. Because you know I do love to look at some body cam footage. I need to watch more of it. But in this one, it was simply called "A Man Escapes Police in the Most Unexpected Way." So let's get over into this. It's not a very long one, but let's see what we can find out about it. Let's see what we think. So let's jump over to it. Remember, y'all, the best way to show your support is hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. So let's jump into it.
Steven, you all right?
I hear it up there.
Uh-oh.
When deputies in New Mexico arrest a suspected con man, they're caught off guard when he goes to extraordinary heights to avoid jail.
Steven! Get down! He's in the ceiling.
The following is based on official police records released to date, and some of the footage has never been seen before until now. On February 9, 2024, Bernalillo County deputies arrive at the home of 60-year-old Stephen Byers, a man wanted on multiple active warrants, including larceny, unlawful taking of a motor vehicle, tampering with evidence, and contracting without a license. They catch him just as he's attempting to leave.
Get down now! Let me put my dog down! Get down now! Okay. Get down! I am.
Let me get you. Let me just put my dogs up, please. Let me just put my dogs up.
You have any weapons on you?
No, I don't have no weapons at all. Can you just open the gate and let me put the dogs in?
Let's sit you up to your backside there.
Okay.
Will they like listen to you?
Yeah, they'll listen to me, yes.
Send them up.
Okay. Thank you.
The deputies walk Stephen to a cruiser and search his pockets, finding tinfoil and a small tube containing 42 blue pills.
Can you open here? In there, yes. What is it? Fentanyl. Can you just please let me just put my dogs up? Oh, you guys got me cuffed. They won't do nothing. Please, you guys, please, please.
Do you have leashes or something?
If you just open the gate, I'll tell them to go and they'll run back there.
Forward.
There's only one problem. The gate is locked, and the keys are inside the truck.
Are they mean dogs?
No, they're not mean at all.
No, that's a mean one, dude.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Hey.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm not on that, dude.
While
Come on now. We know what he was trying to do. Open that door. He gonna hit that race. Dog's gonna chase the officers and he's gonna run. At least that's my thinking. He could be, of course, worried about the dogs, of course, but that dog did not look friendly to me. Let's keep going.
some of the dogs are distracted, a deputy is able to quickly reach in and grab the keys. But they still need Stephen's help getting them out of the truck and inside the gate. They decide to let him help if he's willing to cooperate.
Here's what we're going to do.
Yes, sir.
Did you move your own cuffs to the front?
Yes, I did.
Why'd you do that?
Because I was freaking out. I just needed to just
Okay,
breathe.
here's the deal.
I couldn't breathe.
So number one, don't ever do that again.
Okay.
Number two, I'm going to let you keep them like that right now because we're going to go put the dogs in the yard. We already opened the gate, but I'm going to have you do it. Okay?
With Stephen's cooperation, they're able to get his dog safely inside. And while that's one problem solved, they're about to have an entirely new one on their hands. While in custody, Stephen complains of chest pain and difficulty breathing, and is transported to Lovelace Hospital for treatment. There, staff administer nitroglycerin, a medication that can cause side effects including nausea. Eventually, Stephen asks to use the restroom.
No funny business? You're not going to try to take off on me or anything stupid? No. All right, man, we won't even cuff you. We'll just walk over here. All right. No, you're good.
For several minutes, Stephen can be heard vomiting behind the bathroom door. He soon returns to the deputy's custody without incident, so there's little concern when he asks to go again. But it's during this next trip to the restroom that a strange noise catches a staff member's attention, signaling that things are about to take an unexpected turn.
Hear what?
Like a, I don't know, loud sound.
I don't think so.
All good in there?
Steven, you all right?
He's in the... What? I hear it up there.
Uh-oh.
Can we?
Does security have a key?
Steven! Get down! He's in the ceiling.
Okay. Do you have a key?
He's in the ceiling? Can we get him down?
He's in the ceiling? Yeah, this door is locked.
Yeah, he just fell through the ceiling.
Can't make this
Oh my god.
I think he's... We need a key to this door.
We're getting security. We're in the ghetto.
How you doing?
Steven, get your ass out here. Please notate in the cat.
This man went from, now you're getting, trying to escape on your record as well? Where do you think he was going? You think he was really going to get out the hospital? Through the ceiling duct?
That my 16 is trying to escape through the ceiling at Lovelace.
We're going to get you out.
He's not doing very good.
While hospital staff begin moving patients in case Stephen falls through the ceiling, a member of security unlocks the bathroom door. Inside, they find that Stephen had overturned a trash can, using it to hoist himself up through one of the tiles.
Steven! You're not getting out, bro. Get your down here. He's moving that way.
He's moving that way?
Yeah, he's moving this way. He fell through. Where are the lights?
He fell through?
Steven, you're just catching more charges, bro. Get your down.
Once the commotion stops, they begin to fear he may have already found a way out. Maintenance brings in a ladder, allowing security to take a look around.
We just moved some of this stuff in case he came through.
I mean, like 4 rooms. Can we add that to the charges, like all this destruction?
No, yeah, we are.
Okay.
Just gotta get him first.
Hoping that Stephen may still be hiding, a deputy climbs the ladder to get a closer look.
So this drops down, and the like insulation is pulled out that he might have went down to the floor. Down right there? Yeah, like straight down under where the ladder is.
All right, he's out of the room.
Let's see if I can get down there.
Once the deputy reaches the ground, he quickly spots Stephen crouched in the fetal position.
That was stupid, huh?
Yeah, I tried. Let's go. Let's go there.
Why would you do something like that, dude?
Just got scared.
So now extra charges is worth it, bro?
Mm-hmm. Come on, let's go. I'm not violent.
I don't think you're violent, but I got him right here.
I just got scared.
You got him. You got him.
Well, let me help you up, or you want to help me?
You're gonna have to go first.
Okay.
He's right here with me, on the other side of this wall. No. No. We're gonna have to climb back up.
You have detained? We're okay. Listen, officer, you got my word.
No, I don't really give about your word right now.
All right, well, let me get up there.
But
this man talking about, do you have him detained? How are you supposed to detain him in this situation? If anything, break the wall down and we going out that way. That's my thinking.
He's gonna have to climb up to you guys.
Okay.
It's about probably Well, you saw where I went through. Here, back up so I can get behind you. And then, yeah, I have him. Here, he's climbing up. Okay. He's going up. Here, man.
Back up, back up, back up. Step down, turn around, put your hands behind your back. All right. Turn around, put your hands behind your back. Do exactly like I'm telling you to. Do you understand?
With Stephen back in custody, it's now the deputy's turn to make his way out of the cramped space.
You alright, brother? Yeah, coming. Tight fit. Yeah, I was like, there's not many places you can go. Whew. All right.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa, careful. You got it. You got it.
It's close.
Despite the near fall, the deputy makes it out safely.
You all right, though?
Hey, Sarge.
So is he finished being cleared?
They just gave him meds. They were monitoring him for heart issues.
It's that nitro.
Wasn't apparent.
Yeah, say you had diarrhea and then you climbed through the roof. I don't believe it now.
I did scoop before. She gave me a raise.
Yeah, Sarge.
According to police records, hospital staff estimated approximately $20,000 in damage, including broken ceiling panels and pipes. After Stephen was discharged, he was permanently trespassed from the hospital.
Let's talk for a second. 20,000? Now, they said pipes, okay, the pipes could be crazy. But the ceiling panels, those aren't $20,000 worth of ceiling panels, at least I don't think. 20, that sounds like they put a little, you know what hospital do? They put a little, that little oomph on the bill just so they can get a little bit more money. But hey, he's the one who's going to have to pay it or get sued for. I don't know how they're going to get that money, but let's keep going.
I'm going to retire early because of this. Mesothelioma. Can't breathe.
Mesothelioma.
In a Facebook post, the Bernalillo County District Attorney revealed that 60-year-old Stephen Byers had a criminal history dating back 30 years, including charges of fraud and forgery, as well as multiple criminal convictions. According to court documents, following the incident at Lovelace Hospital, Stephen accepted a plea deal, pleading guilty to escape or attempt to escape from the custody of a peace officer and 2 counts of larceny. He was sentenced to 4 years and 6 months in the New Mexico Department of Corrections, to be followed by 1 year of parole. Watch our full video.
This man tries to escape and gets that $20,000 bill. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. That's a crazy video. But real question, was it worth it to him? Absolutely crazy. But that is it for the show today, y'all. We talked about a lot of crazy things. Remember, if you disagree with anything I say, please leave a comment. Let's have a discussion about it. I'm never going to say I'm always right. I'm never going to say I know everything. But we need to be able to talk about this stuff to be able to navigate our way through it. But like I always say, y'all, these videos will be broken down. So the best way to show your support, y'all, is to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. But that's it for now, y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow at 6 o'clock to go over more topics. The world is a crazy place. That's why we got to review it together. That's it for now, y'all. You already know I got to play my outro. Peace.